ಹಲೋ. ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ SSLC ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, CBSE, ICSE, ಇವನ್ just a minute. ICSE ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, CBSE ಮತ್ತು PUCI 1 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಇಂದಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಏಕಾಗ್ರ ಚಿತ್ತದಿಂದ ಶಾಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಗಿಸುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲು, ಕಲಿತ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕದಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲು, ಜ್ಞಾಪಕದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರೆಯುವ ಬುದ್ಧಿಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲು ಇಷ್ಟ ದೇವತೆಗೆ, ಗುರು ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ, ಕುಲದೇವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ. Yes, good evening, my dear students. Welcome you all to Lokji channel, technically powered by Vedims app. In the previous class, due to rain problem and internet problem, we couldn't complete the topic. The topic was left in between, and some of you told that write it in bigger letters. Yes, I will write it in bigger letters, no problem. Right, let us continue. Before that, the instruction is I have sent you. First of all, those who are new joiners are there, ask them to open the Lokji channel and respective WhatsApp in the description box. WhatsApp groups are there. Click there, join and write your name. Many of you are joining, but only numbers are visible. Names are not visible. Just in the WhatsApp group, you write name and phone number. New joiners, and you can inform your friends to join this. And this is a common bridge course even for PUCI 1 students. Up to this in mathematics, trigonometry is required for PUCI 1 bridge course also. You can inform your PUCI 1 seniors also to join this particular language of chemistry. It is a very important thing even for first PU, second PU students. Writing formula, writing balancing equation is the main part. Okay, I will teach you in detail and in depth so that all classes things can be covered in writing the formula. So in the yesterday class, we are learning about the classification of matter, the compound. In compounds, we are talking about how the compounds are formed. Compounds are formed by chemical combination of two or more elements in a definite proportion by mass is called as a compound. We can define compound as is defined as the substance formed by, pure substance formed by chemical combination of two or more elements in a definite proportion by mass. Right? In the last period we talked about atomicity. What is molecule, you understood. What is monoatomic molecules? All inert gases are monoatomic molecules, and oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine, bromine are diatomic. Ozone is a triatomic. P4 phosphorus is a tetraatomic. Please open the notebook and jot down the points. You make a separate notebook. Lokji live classes, you have a separate notebook. Note down the points, right? So they are very, very important. I will be teaching for slow learners, average learners, even fast learners. For all of you, this particular peculiar live classes are there. In most of the live classes, they only teach, but after teaching a particular topic in a Vedims app, we are creating courses shortly, and there you can attend the quiz, right? in a course, you have to select, first of all, you have to download Vedium's app. I have sent in your WhatsApp group to forward. First of all, you have to download Vedium's app, and in Vedium's app, there are mind maths, 10 topics are already ready to study for you. Apart from that, your chemistry, maths, whatever live stream classes I am taking here, on that also, we'll have topic wise quizzes. On one topic, I will have a rapid revision. Video will be there in the app. It is available in Play Store, and link also I have given you in the WhatsApp group. I have sent you. Please forward it to as many friends as possible. Let them make use of it. Okay, and smoothly that will prepare you for competitive exams as well as your revision of the chapters in your school tests also. Okay, I'm making it slow, making it steady, right? And in the bridge course, I have taken selected language of chemistry in chemistry, and trigonometry is a special language, a very important language for 11th and 12th standard students also, even for the 10th class students also. Many students fear of trigonometry, therefore I have started all classes combined, but it is common bridge course for all of you. After completion of these two bridge courses, I will separate your batches between 6 to 7 evening, PUCI 1, 8:30 to 9:15, you will have live classes. I will send you in the status also. I will send the live class time. The thumbnail will be sent in your WhatsApp group, and you share that with your friends. Let them join. So new joiners can join the WhatsApp group of their respective classes. Okay. So see, told that the molecule. What is a molecule? What is atom? We discussed. What is molecule? Molecule is the smallest particle of a substance which is capable of independent existence. Means H does not exist. Hydrogen exists as H2. Yesterday we talked about it. Hydrogen exists as H2. Hydrogen exists as H2. Therefore, a diatomic. They are molecules. They are called as elementary molecules. Right? What are elementary molecules? Whenever atoms of the same element combine to form a diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic, triatomic ozone. Tetraatomic example is a P4, right? Octatomic is S8. Like this, these particular elementary molecules of the same element, they are called as elementary molecules. There is another type of the molecules called as compound molecules, right? So what are compound molecules we will learn here. And about elements, I was talking to you in the last class. Elements are broadly classified into two types, right? One is metals and another one is non-metals. About metals and non-metals in separate chapter I will be talking. Therefore, we will focus on our point of discussion, how to write a formula. Second part of our this thing, and that will remove your fear from the writing formula and balancing equation, right? Attend these particular things. First of all, let us learn compounds and how the compounds are classified, right? Okay, I will complete the study of elements now. We'll start today the study of compounds. And first of all, you have to understand what a compound is, how the compound is formed. To form a compound, chemical reaction should take place, right? So we can define compound. Definition of the compound, we'll write first. Open your notebook, write the definition of the compound, right? You can define it as the smallest, the pure substance, better, the pure substance, the pure substance formed by chemical combination, right? Chemical combination of two or more elements, chemical combination of two or more elements in a definite proportion, by mass, in a definite proportion definite proportion by mass. Tilkoli try madri. Don't by heart any definitions. Try to understand them in your mother tongue. Clear? So that okay. Good evening, all of you. You are chatting there. Very good. Okay. Pure substance. Meaning ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಶುದ್ಧ ವಸ್ತು. Pure substance. Those who are coming from Kannada medium and joining PUCI 1, you will have difficulty of language. Pure substance formed by chemical combination. Chemical combination means chemical reaction. Keyword of two or more elements. Of two or more elements. ಎರಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ in a definite proportion by mass is called as by definite proportion by mass is called as compound. I hope you understood the meaning of compound and don't mechanically by heart like many students do. You learn definitions. The pure substance ಶುದ್ಧ ವಸ್ತು formed by ಹೆಂಗ್ ತಯಾರಾಗಿರ್ತದ chemical combination ಅಂದ್ರೆ chemical reaction ನಡಿಬೇಕು of two or more elements in a definite proportion by mass, right? So this particular thing is studied in detail at PUCI 1 classes. So as it is just a bridge course here, all combined classes. Once I start your individual batches, in that batch I will take your syllabus directly. Before we start, we will take the bridge course, how to write the formula. Our aim is to understand how to write the formula. How to write formula. Second step, write a formula. Given names, you must be in a position to write formula. Given formula, you must be in a position to write. This is the second step in the language of in learning basic language of the chemistry. How to write formula, right? This is our focus point, and I will take only those things and you make it perfect. Practice the questions. I will send some practice questions also, assignments also in the WhatsApp group. You can practice them. Okay, fine. Now the point is compound. Now this chemical combination, very important, is chemical reaction. I told you I will give advanced definition for chemical reaction. Chemical reaction. Chemical combination, a compound is formed. Suppose that I take a compound. How this hydrogen chloride is formed? You know the simplest compound acid, it is HCl. Hydrochloric acid is the formula. This is the gastric juice present in our stomach. You will be studying in acid, bases and salts, right? And this hydrogen chloride, to form this hydrogen chloride, two elements should combine. What are the two elements? You can guess. One element is hydrogen, because hydrogen exists as H2 only. Another element is chlorine. It exists as Cl2. Right? This hydrogen and chlorine combine forming hydrogen chloride. So this is the symbolic representation. Right? This is hydrogen plus chlorine combine forming hydrogen chloride. Observe here carefully. I'm going to give you advanced definition of the chemical reaction. Higher class. See, in this hydrogen, two hydrogen atoms are bonded with the H bond. This is called as covalent bond. Observe, covalent bond. Between chlorine and chlorine, there is single covalent bond. I will talk about chemical bonding also in detail slowly. What happens is, during formation of hydrogen chloride, what happens is, this hydrogen and hydrogen bonds are broken. Observe here, this bond is broken. Bond means what? Chemical bond means what? The force of attraction which holds two hydrogen atoms together in the molecule of hydrogen. This symbol represents H2. It is a gas. Generally we write G is a symbol. I told you in the previous class, physical state of the matter. And chlorine is also gas. when they combine in the presence of sunlight, when they combine in the presence of sunlight, they form what? They form a hydrogen chloride gas. Okay. See here, in this molecule of hydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen are held together by a force of attraction. We call it as a bond. In particular, this bond is called as covalent bond. Types of the covalent bonds, the bonds we will learn little later, but right now you understand what is a chemical bond. Whenever a chemical reaction takes place, the hydrogen-hydrogen bond, chlorine-chlorine bond, in particular we call it as covalent bonds, are broken. New bonds are formed. Observe here. This hydrogen combines with this chlorine, forming one HCl, HCl. And this hydrogen, this chlorine combines, forming another HCl. I will write them as 2 HCl. Hence, the formula becomes H2 plus Cl2 becomes how many to HCl? 2 HCl. Means what actually happened here? Actually, what happened is the chemical bonds between the, see, this particular substances which are taking, suppose that you are taking this both hydrogen and chlorine in a flask, hydrogen and chlorine in a flask, and allow it to react in the presence of sunlight. Then both of them combine and form what? Hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride will come out. Observe. This is the reaction taking place either in the laboratory or elsewhere. This reaction takes place forming hydrogen chloride. This is actually reaction taking place. And these particular substances which are participating in the chemical reaction to start a chemical reaction are called as reactants. What they are called as? Reactants. What we call hydrogen and chlorine as? Hydrogen and chlorine are called as reactants. What they are called as? Reactants. Observe. And these will involve these particular reactive molecules. We will call them the substances participating in the chemical reaction are called as reactants. And reactants will collide in themselves and their bonds are broken under suitable conditions. Here the condition is sunlight, and new bonds to form the product molecules are formed. This process, whatever new substance is formed, that is called as product. What it is called as? Product. Observe. And what these are called as? These are called as reactants. Right? Generally, this symbolic representation of writing this method, this is called as verbal chemical equation. We call it as a chemical equation. What is the difference between chemical reaction and chemical equation? Chemical combination or chemical reaction means chemical reaction is taking place either in the laboratory, in a test tube, or in a flask, or in the nature. Photosynthesis is taking place in the nature. That is a chemical reaction. Digestion process is taking place in our stomach. It is a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction may take place in the nature or in the laboratory, artificial in the laboratory, and that is called as chemical reaction. Chemical reaction may take place anywhere, either in the nature or you may be carrying out the reactions in the laboratory, right? And there the substances which are participating in the reaction are reactants. They are written on the left side with separated with the plus sign, and here hydrogen, here chlorine, and both of them react, and arrow mark is used forming hydrogen chloride. This is called as a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction taking place either in the nature or in the laboratory. That is called as, this is called as verbal equation. What it is called as? Verbal equation. Okay. Now we will move on to the verbal equation. Generally, on the paper or on the board, when we write a chemical reaction taking place either in the nature or in the laboratory, how to represent it on the paper or on the board? To represent it, these symbols are used. This symbolic representation of a chemical reaction is called as chemical equation. What it is called as? Chemical equation. Chemical equation. Symbolic representation of a chemical reaction is called as chemical equation. Now I told you, I will give you another definition, modern definition, advanced definition of chemical reaction. Now, after knowing these many things, now can you define what is a chemical reaction? If I define a chemical reaction now, it is a process. It is a process which involves breaking of bonds between the reacting molecules under suitable conditions and making of new bonds to form the product molecules is perfectly called as a chemical reaction. Let us write the advanced definition of a chemical reaction first. And what is the chemical equation you define? Already I have written here chemical equation. Before that, we will write what is a chemical reaction definition. Chemical reaction. How do you define a chemical reaction? So in the last previous class in the beginning, I told you that chemical reaction is the process which involves conversion of one substance into new substance. But today we will write a meaningful definition for the class 10. The definition of chemical reaction you can note down and you can write it, even PUCI students also from 10th ICSE, CBSE and language will not change, my dear students. Language is same for all classes. Okay, this is the language of chemistry. Therefore, I request all PUCI 1 students, ICSE students, CBSE students and state students, all of you can combine and attend this single class. After bridge course, I will take a test, then you can separate, I will separate your batch. I have combined all the batches taking between 8:30 to 9:30, alternative days, chemistry and mathematics. Okay, let us define what is chemical reaction. The process, we'll write today more meaningfully. The process which involves, you can note down in your notebook, and slow learning, clear learning, step-by-step learning. Okay, throughout here will work, and I am focusing on average students, poor students and extraordinary students also. You can use tough questions at PG test in the app. In the app, courses are created. There you will get CBSE students will get case study, assertion, different sets of questions are made. You can solve them in the quiz questions. And separate assignment will be made for CBSE and state. Theory will be taught in the same, but assignment and questions, quiz questions will vary. They will change. Okay. So therefore, CBSE students, don't worry. State and CBSE syllabus is same, but level of questions, types of pattern of question paper will be different. That will come to later. Here, concepts will be same. Basic concepts will not change. Up to PUCI 1 also. Chemical reaction has the same meaning. The process which involves breaking of bonds. You can write the perfect definition. Breaking of bonds between reacting molecules. Breaking of bonds between reacting molecules under suitable conditions, because the conditions are required to break the bonds. Generally, some bonds, covalent bonds will be stronger under suitable conditions, and making of new bonds to form the product molecules, and making of new bonds to form product molecules. Write the definition first. Product molecules. I'll give time to note down. You note down definitions clearly. It is as good as your classroom environment. Therefore, I am using very simple whiteboard and write the definitions. Use them in the exam. You will get full marks. Suppose 1 mark question is asked, what is chemical reaction? I think this is the perfect definition up to PUCI. 10th ICSE, PUCI. All of you can write this definition. Product, it is a perfect and complete. A definition should be perfect and meaningful and complete. Right? Product molecules is called chemical reaction. Chemical reaction. All of you note down, underline the keywords. Slowly you note down, right? Dictation, writing. Without writing, see, just by reading or watching video, you will never become perfect. I'm a classical old teacher, and this classical method is always writing makes you perfect, reading makes you complete, seeing makes you even not complete. Therefore, don't watch this like a cinema movie. You open the at this time only you open the use the mobile. My instruction, please carefully listen to me. Other times you open your textbook, study it. I'm just supporting you at home to understand the concepts, right? Because I cannot come to your place to teach you. Therefore, I have made this arrangement. Actually, I am against using mobile, but we are using technology to share my knowledge so that you can have the classroom environment. Okay. Therefore, always open the notebook, write a date, today's date, and start writing step by step. Carefully, I will teach you. I will understand the process. Idu kriye. Meaning to put, which involves, this word is important. What? Breaking. Breaking of bonds between what? Reacting molecules or reactants you can write. And very important word I have added here under suitable conditions, because all reactions cannot take place on their own. Hydrogen and chlorine cannot combine in the absence of sunlight. Sunlight is required. For every reaction, there is a certain condition, catalyst, temperature, pressure, right? Particularly organic reactions are very slow. They need conditions. Therefore, we defined chemistry. Recall, what is chemistry? Chemistry is the branch of science which deals with the study of composition of matter and changes in it under certain conditions like temperature. Sunlight is the energy, solar energy. Using that energy, hydrogen bonds are broken to form a new molecule called as product. This is a chemical reaction. And this chemical reaction is represented in chemistry by using chemical equation. This writing chemical equation is the third step. Are you getting me? Today we are learning the second step, how to write the formula. Therefore, I am just defining you, and in the next I will come to the equations. Today I am not talking about equation, I am teaching you how the chemical reaction takes place. For that reason, we have taken the example. Right? Note down. Take the example of hydrogen and chlorine, show the bonds here, show breaking of bonds, formation of bonds, right? And particularly this bond is a covalent bond. Later I will explain you in chemical bonding. When in your separate, when your classes are separated, there I will discuss in detail. This is just a bridge course, chemical reaction. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ process which involves ಏನು ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ breaking of bonds. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ bonds ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರೆಯೋಣಂತ. Between bond ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Force of attraction which holds the constituents of molecule together. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಒಂದು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್, ರಾಸಾಯನಿಕ ಬಂಧ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದೊಳಗೆ. ರಾಸಾಯನಿಕ ಬಂಧ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. PUC 1 Kannada medium students, those are joining to English medium, and therefore I am using Kannada words so that I can reach all of you, all the classes, even PUC 1 students also coming from Kannada medium. Kindly share this particular link, let them join. I will try to clear chemistry and mathematics problems in my live stream classes throughout the year. Throughout the year I will be working. Okay, you are this particular live stream classes will be free of cost. You need not pay anything, just you have to open the channel and join the WhatsApp group and come sit at the right time with your notebook and pen, because by 8:30 your homework will be, you complete your homework by 8:30. Therefore I have kept it as 8:30, right? Particularly 10 students. Okay, PUC 1 at 6 to 7, because I have no other time to do. Okay. Later I will discuss with you whether to make it in the morning or evening 6 to 7 or morning 6 to 7, and I will take your opinions, all of your opinions, then I will start PUC 1. Okay. Till then, trigonometry is also basic required for the PUC 1, and a very important chapter for class 10, ICSE, state and CBSE. Therefore, I have taken both of them in the bridge course combined to all the batches. If your trigonometry is strong, PUC 1 student, and rest of the things will be strong. And 10 students, if you make trigonometry strong, this particular basic language of chemistry strong, your PUC 1, PUC 2 becomes very, very easier. Okay, That's the thing. So I think you have noted all of them. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ಗಳು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವು ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ under suitable conditions. You add this under suitable conditions. Under suitable conditions. This is very important word. And making of new bonds to form product molecules is called a chemical reaction. I think this is the perfect definition. Use it in the exam. Examiner will be very happy because you are given very perfect definition. Okay. Then we will define what is a bond, a chemical bond, and what is a chemical equation. Okay, I hope all of you written this definition, right? I will continue with the next definition. Next definition is chemical equation. What is chemical equation? Okay. Chemical equation, simply you can say that symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Just you can define it as symbolic representation. Symbolic representation. You note down the definition. I will explain you the meaning. Right? Symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Generally, chemical reaction do not take place on the paper. They take place either in the laboratory, test tube or flask, or take place in our body, or take place in the nature, in plants, animals, in the nature. Okay. Photosynthesis is taking place in the nature. Respiration, cellular respiration is taking place in our body. They are all chemical reaction. Digestion of food is a chemical reaction. Symbolic representation of chemical reaction. In which, why it is called as equation? Equation is the mathematical word, isn't it? Therefore, here mathematics starts. Whenever equation comes, you are writing in mathematics as a 2x plus 2x square plus 3x plus 5 is equal to 0. Is it not a quadratic equation? When you are using the word equation, you are using equation in your algebra, right? Means left hand side is equal to right hand side, then it is called as equation. Similarly, here also in a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction in which formulae of reactants are written on the left side. Formulae of reactants. Formulae is a plural of what? Formula. Right? So many students are very weak in, I hope you completed this. I will rub this. I think you have noted it. All of you correctly note down definitions. Right? It is a classroom only. Okay? Don't watch it like a video. It is a classroom coaching to prepare you for the exam, board exam. Symbolic representation of a chemical reaction in which formulae of reactants are written. Formulae of reactants are written on left side, and products are written on right side. Products are written on right side. Whatever you are seeing there, same you have to write in the form of the definition. Written on right side. All reactants and products are separated by plus sign. See, this is mathematics. Using plus sign is mathematics. Therefore, we call it as an equation. All reactants and products are separated by plus sign, isn't it? Separated by plus sign, right? Plus sign. And reactants and product are separated by an arrow mark. Reactants and products. Reactants and products. I will teach you in depth, in detail. Let it take time, don't worry. And it will boost your understanding in the school by plus sign. And reactants and products are separated by either this sign, arrow mark. Can you see? This sign is called as, in chemistry we call it as irreversible sign. What it is called as? Irreversible. Write it meaningfully. Or sometimes they are separated by this symbol. This symbol is called as reversible. There are two types of reactions, reversible and irreversible. In a PUCI level you will be learning about it. Separated by, this is not called as arrow mark, it is called as irreversible sign. This is called as reversible sign. This sign is called chemical equation. I hope by this definition you can clearly understand what is chemical equation. Okay, fine. Right? You are learning chemical reactions and chemical equations, state students. You may be asked chemical equation. Even though it is lengthier, it is meaningful. Up to PUC 1, I am giving you very clear definition. The definition is the symbolic. You write the symbolic in the inverted comma. Perfect definition. The symbolic andre ಚಿಹ್ನೆಯ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ, symbolic representation of chemical reaction. Chemical reaction cannot take place on the board or on the paper. You are symbolically representing it on the board. In which formula is plural. Formula andre ಸೂತ್ರಗಳು, ಸೂತ್ರ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, ಸೂತ್ರಗಳು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೆ. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಚಿಹ್ನೆಯ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಿಂಬಾಲ್ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೆ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ are written on left side. Can you observe what are the reactants in this case? Hydrogen and chlorine. They are written on the left side. Written on and products are written on right side. Just include the word right side. Comma. All reactants and products are separated by plus sign. In between reactants and products they are separated by what? Plus sign. And reactants and products are separated by, these are all hydrogen and chlorine are reactants. Hydrogen and chloride is a product. They are separated by either this mark. This mark is not called, it is called as irreversible. Means once products are formed, you cannot get back the reactants. For example, if you take an egg, prepare omelette, can you get back the egg? No. Therefore, formation of omelette using egg is irreversible. You cannot reverse it back. Are you getting me? Irreversible. And there are some reactions which are reversible. You dissolve some salt in water and evaporate all water, you can get the salt back. It is a reversible process. The reversible and irreversible symbol you are using. And up to 10th standard you are not using irreversible very in organic reactions. In esterification we are using, other than that we are not using it most of the times. But PUC students in the chapter equilibrium you will be using it. So therefore I have given this definition up to PUC standard. All of you can note down, my definitions are complete and meaningful, and they are, that is called as a definition. A definition must be meaningful and complete. Plus sign. Reactants and products are separated by either this symbol or this symbol. Remember what this symbol is called as? Irreversible. Andre ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆತಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ರಿವರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಹೊಳ್ಳಿ ತಾವ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೀತಾರ ರಿವರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇರಿವರ್ಸಿಬಲ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್, right? So chemical equation is the meaning, and I am not going in detail about chemical reaction, because once again I will come back to my heading. What is the heading? First step before writing equation is you must know how to write the formula of reactants and formula of the products. If you don't know formula of the reactants and formula of the products, how can you write a chemical equation? Therefore, second step in our language of chemistry is how to write a formula of the compounds. Okay. Now let us come back to the compounds. Generally, formula will be there for molecular formula will be there either for elementary molecules or for compound molecules. I hope all of you noted this, right? Definition. Okay. At the live time only, you take a pen and paper, have that habit, and later slowly you will understand how your fears are removed, how your performance are improved. My goal is to convert even zero student into a hero student. That is my dream of these live classes. My dream of live classes is I want to convert you people zero to hero. Even if you are very weak, no problem. Your approach is wrong. Your basic is weak. Make the basic strong, then automatically building will be stronger and life will be more. Okay. So that is the thing. Now compounds are classified. Okay. I will take compounds are classified. We are learning only inorganic compounds here into three types. Right? Into three types. One is called as acid. You are learning the chapter acids, bases. Second one is called as bases. This bridge course covers your most of the concepts in the inorganic chemistry. And the third one is a salt. So that when you start learning that chapter, you will feel more comfortable. Acid, base, salt. Fine. Now, what is acid? About this particular acid, many chemists step by step you will be studying acid base theory at a PU level, and very simple and basic definition was invented and given by Arrhenius, a Swedish chemist. Arrhenius, Swedish chemist, he gave a theory. The theory is that what is the contribution of Arrhenius? So generally what happens, suppose that you take a beaker, and take some water in it, then dissolve salt in it, simple salt in it, and this salt crystals after dissolving, and you can use the glass rod or spoon at home, glass rod in the laboratory, and shake it well, it will dissolve and vanish. You know, you have seen white colored crystals of salt when put in water. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ರಾಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಲಿಕ್ ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರಿಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದ ಕಾಣುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂತು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋತದು ಹಾಕಿದ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋತು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರೇನಿಯಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಅವ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅಂದ್ರ ವೆನೆವರ್ ಎ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಆಸಿಡ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್, ವೆನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟರ್ and second well, they will dissolve. This particular process he called it as dissociation. Please note down, all of you, it is called as dissociation, and the simple meaning is called as ionization. But it is called as ionization. They will undergo ionization. I was talking to you about valency, right? And if you take sodium chloride, you know the simplest formula most of you will be knowing. Sodium chloride has got the formula NaCl, right? I will take NaCl solid. You don't forget to write the physical state arrow mark in the presence of water when dissolved in water. This particular there will be a bond in sodium chloride. Remember, sodium chloride, most of the salts will have another type of the bond. That bond is called as ionic bond. There are two types of bonds, right? Therefore I were to define you chemical bond. ಇದನ್ನೊಂದು ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿಕ್ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಫುಲಿ ಹೇಳಿಕ್ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಸೇ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್. ಎಲ್ಲರ ಕಡೆ ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ. ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ರೀ ಸರ್, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾವ್ರಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ರೀ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. Chemical bond, you must have definition should be generated out of your understanding. What is a chemical bond? I told you shortly. You note down the definition and don't by-heart the definition. Once you understand them, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಎರಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು, ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಏನು? ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ which holds ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್. ನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡಿನಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಅದ. ಈಗ ನಾವು HCl ಬರೆದ್ವಿ. ಇದೇನ್ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ H ಮತ್ತು Cl ಆರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಅಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕೋವಲೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್. ಕೋವಲೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೀತಾರ ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಬಾಂಡ್. ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಬಾಂಡ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಅಂತ ಮೊಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. HCl is a molecule, but sodium chloride is not a molecule. ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ Na plus ion, Cl minus ion by electrostatic force of attraction. Electrostatic ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್. ನೀವು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲಿತೀರಿ. ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನದ, ಅನ್ಲೈಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಈ Na plus ion, Cl minus ion ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಾವು, ದೇ ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಎ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್. ಆ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನೀರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದಂತಂದ್ರ Na plus ion ಅನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಸುತ್ತುವರಿತದ. ಈ ವಾಟರ್ Cl minus ion ಅನ್ನ ಸುತ್ತುವರೆದು ಅವ್ನ ಎರಡನ್ನು ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದ Na plus AQ ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಏನು? ಅಕ್ವಿಯಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ Cl minus ಅಕ್ವಿಯಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಸೇಪ್ ಈಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್. ನೌ it becomes vanished. It is called as dissolution. But it is called dissolution, and Arrhenius called it as ionization or dissociation. It is converted into, it dissociated into positive ion and negative ion. As the ions are separated, these ions do not have the shape, therefore they will vanish. And ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕುಡಿದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉಪ್ಪು ಹತ್ತದ, ಅದ್ರೊಳಗದ ಉಪ್ಪು, ಬಟ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಯಾವ್ರಿ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ is broken, ions are produced. This particular process is called as ionization. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಥಿಯರಿ ಬರ್ತದ. ಅದನ್ನ ಥಿಯರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರೇನಿಯಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಸಿಡ್. ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅಸಿಡ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಗೊತ್ತದ ಅಸಿಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಬೇಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋರಿ. ಆರ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೀರು ಕುಡಿತೀನಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಸಿಡ್? Taste of an acid. You can tell me what is the taste of the acid. Okay, what is the taste of the acid? ಈಗ acid in day to day life, acid in day to day life, acid generally, acid ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇ ಲೈಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಮನ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್, ನಿಂಬೆ ಹಣ್ಣು. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್? ಸೋರ್ ಇನ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್. ಯಾವುದು? ಲೆಮನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಸಿಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್. ಆಲ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್, ಲೆಮನ್, ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಿಟ್ರಸ್ ಫುಡ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್. ಸಿಟ್ರಸ್ ಫುಡ್. Citric acid ಇರ್ತದ. Generally acids will have sour taste. You take soap powder, and soap powder will have the bitter taste. And your bitter gourd, ಹಾಗಲಕಾಯಿ, ಬಿಟರ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಅದ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಬಿಟರ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಅದ, ಹಾಗಲಕಾಯಿ, ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಕಹಿ ಹತ್ತದ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಿರ್ತದ, ಜನರಲಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್, acids are sour in taste. More details about acid and base will be learning later in the independent chapters. But my idea is, it was Arrhenius who told define acid for the first time. Means whenever an acid is put, generally an acid should contain at least one hydrogen atoms. For example, HCl. When I put it in water, what happens? Hydrochloric acid, if I put it in water, say in the liquid state, or you can put it in water. When you put it in water, what happens here? In water, right, it will produce H plus ion and water, Cl minus ion. Ions are separated. Because HCl is a covalent bond, so that H will have the small positive charge, Cl minus will have the small negative charge. Water will enter between them and give the diverse, so that both of them are separated. Water is doing the job of breaking the bonds. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವು H and Cl ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಏನು ದೋಸ್ತಿ ಅದ ಅದನ್ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಡೈವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. H ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಲೆ ತುಂಬಿ Cl ಮೈನಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಲೆ ತುಂಬಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಡೈವರ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಕ್ವಿಯಸ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಅವ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಅರೇನಿಯಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ acid is a substance which produces at least one H plus ion. At least one H plus ion in aqueous solution is called as an acid. That is Arrhenius' original definition. After that, different theories were came that we will be learning at PU level classes, right? But basic definition of the acid is a species or a substance which produces at least one H plus ion in aqueous solution, at least one. And base, if I take sodium hydroxide, you must have heard about sodium hydroxide. What is the formula of sodium hydroxide? NaOH. It is present in soap. The taste of this sodium hydroxide is a base. It is bitter in taste. Therefore, you should not touch the sodium hydroxide in the laboratory by hand. Don't put it in mouth. It is poisonous or bitter in taste. Sodium hydroxide. When put in water, what happens? When sodium hydroxide is put in water, solid sodium hydroxide is put in water, right? So it will ionize according to Arrhenius, forming aqua, OH minus aqua. What is the base then? Base is a species according to Arrhenius which produces at least one OH minus ions in the aqueous solution. Mainly there are two compounds, acids and bases. Now we will try to define the acids and bases. My method of teaching is very systematic. After learning anything, learn to define. Definition comes out of your understanding. Definition indicates the evaluator or teacher what your understanding is. Many of you by heart definitions, never by heart. You learn the definition. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅರೇನಿಯಸ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಸಿಡ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ H ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆದ ಅಸಿಡ್ ಆಮ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ. ಬೇಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಬೇಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಾಟರ್ OH minus ions. It is a very old theory, first theory. After that, many electronic theories developed in modern, right? So modern Lewis theory came, electronic theory came, Bronsted-Lowry theory came. Arrhenius theory is the first theory. Next theory is Bronsted-Lowry theory. PUC students will be learning later. And Lewis theory is the most modern theory. Who gave the dot structure? About that I will be talking a little later, slowly, step by step. And that you have to understand first. Before you write the formula, you must understand what is an acid and what are the different acids formula, their formula of the different acids you must know first. Then the formula of different bases you must learn first. Try to write their formula. Clear? Okay. Let us define a basic definition. Acid. You may be asked one more question. What is an acid? Okay, acid is a substance. Acid is a substance. This definition is not the final definition, my dear students. It is a initial definition for a beginner. For a beginner of chemistry, like I gave you for chemical bonding, chemical reaction, initial definition, then you can improvise it as the new theory is developed. But it is the theory in the reference of what we can say it at the definition of Arrhenius theory. Acid is a substance. Acid is a substance. Acid is a substance which produces at least which produces, I think it is visible, produces at least one H plus ion. Open the notebook, write the definition as I go on explaining and writing. You keep on writing. Writing makes you perfect. right? Acid is a substance which produces at least one H plus ion in aqueous solution. Aqueous means in water. Aqueous solution. I hope you understood. Aqueous solution is called, or already you told us it, aqueous solution. Example. We can give different examples. Some important acids I will write. We'll write a definition of the base today. Then I will start the salt in the next class. Once the salt comes, the formula writing starts now. Different acids, different bases will combine. Generally, acid and base will combine, forming salt and water is a basic reaction taking place in the inorganic. This reaction we call it as a neutralization reaction. What it is called as? First reaction you have to learn in the first chapter, chemical reactions and equation. You are learning type of the reaction. The first type of the reaction is neutralization reaction. I will start the study of chemical reactions and chemical equation with this in the bridge course. That is neutralization reaction. I will tell you step by step. Don't make hurry study, right? Haste makes waste. ಅವಸರವೇ ಅನಾಹುತಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ. Any quality work takes its own time to make it perfect. Give time, don't make hurry. In many YouTubers I have seen, they not even allow you to listen, just they will go on explaining. No, I want this to be a live class, right? So that you can interact, you can talk, right? Example, I will ask you questions later, you have to answer. Acid, okay, in aqueous solution. Slowly I will start giving you homework in the class only. Next period you have to complete the homework, attend the class, okay. Solution in aqueous solution. Example, simplest acid I will start. This HCl is the symbol of the acid. You can note down the names of some important acids. It is called as hydrochloric acid. First step in learning formula is writing the formula of the acid, hydrochloric acid, right? I will take a next acid, HNO3, right? Can you name this acid? This acid is called as nitric acid. They contain only one hydrogen atom. Nitric acid having one hydrogen atom, right? So these are inorganic acids. I will write some organic acids. Can you identify this HCOOH? It is an organic acid. Anybody knows the name of it? Its name is formic acid. Later in organic chemistry you will be learning. Its name is formic acid. And its IUPAC name, IUPAC will teach you IUPAC nomenclature in the organic chemistry, very important chapter for ICSE as well as state. Carbon and its compounds in state and CBSE, and organic chemistry is in detail dealt for ICSE. I will be talking in your separate classes. And it is called as methanoic acid. According to IUPAC, the nomenclature, this is a common name, older name, common name. You know where you are using it. It is used in to store the biological specimens in the geology laboratory, or even in KMC. Dead bodies can also be kept in it, and even in hospitals. This particular formic acid mixed with water is called as formalin, is used as a sterilizing agent. Before cutting the patient's body, doctors will generally prepare the OT. So there all cutleries required are cleaned with formalin. Formalin is a dilute aqueous solution of formic acid. It is soluble in water. Methanoic acid, IUPAC name. Later I will teach you IUPAC nomenclature, because I am teaching now the inorganic reaction, but it is an acid. It will ionize, forming. Very interesting thing is HCl when put in water, you know that HCl when put in water, HCl plus H2O reacts. This H2O take this H plus and form a ion. Can anyone of you tell me the name of this ion? Plus Cl minus ion. Aqua. In fact, water formula is not H2O. Always actual water formula is, strictly speaking, water formula is H3O plus, because always H2O will take H plus ion in it. It is called as hydronium ion. What it is called as? Hydronium ion. Hydronium ion. I'll give another example of the acid, and particularly organic acids. Why I am telling you is HCOH will also ionize, but it will not ionize partially. And this HCl, HNO3, they ionize completely, 100% ionize. Even I will write HNO3. See, when you take HNO3 plus H2O, right? You will get here S3O plus plus what? Cl minus, sorry, NO3 minus 2. NO3, N plus NO3 minus 1. And means what? These will completely undergo ionization. But interesting thing, you have to think and tell me in the next class. I will stop now. HCOH, when put in water, we are not using irreversible sign, but we are using this symbol to write HCOO minus and S3O plus. S3O plus. That is the difference between organic. Why this symbol is used, you have to answer me in the next class. CS3COH is called as acetic acid. You are using it in vinegar, table vinegar, right? When put in water, here also I am writing reversible sign. Now you have to think and tell me in the next class why I am writing reversible sign here, why I am writing irreversible sign here. Okay, that is the definition of acid. Some two inorganic acid, two organic acid I told you today. And in our next class, today is Thursday, tomorrow Friday, this week, yesterday as class was not taken, therefore I continue today chemistry only. Tomorrow, all 10th state CBSE, ICSE and PUCI 1 students, particularly Kannada medium joined students to the PUCI 1 will have the fear, because I was also Kannada medium student. Therefore, I faced many problems. Therefore, I invite all Kannada medium students who joined, please share them. Okay, I will send you the link like I sent it today. Tomorrow, trigonometry. Okay, will be continued. Mathematics. On Saturday, we will continue with the bridge course of the this particular language of chemistry. Right? This will continue like this. Sunday will be a holiday. Sunday, I will not start activities. Slowly from next Sunday. By the time I will create courses, because as soon as I complete the class, you have to open the app, and on the same day you have to give the quiz test and report me in the WhatsApp group your marks scored. I will tell you slowly. It is a very interesting course, my dear students. And app will automatically give you the results as soon as you complete the quiz questions in subject, chemistry subject, mathematics subject. In trigonometry, I have made 360 questions. I am preparing questions on language of chemistry also, right? They will be uploaded in the app. You cannot take the quiz test live here. You have to download the Vedium's app. I have written in the group also. I have sent in my status also. Please save my number. If you send to anybody, I have written here my number 9731571044. You can ask your any friend, because if they do not save my number, they cannot my messages cannot reach them. Therefore, as Desi Sir classes, Desai Sivaraj, I made it as Desi Sir Logzi. Let them save like this. Desi Sir Logzi. Let them save like this, so that they will get updates, and subscribe the channel, and write your comments. Right? I'll be seeing them because when I'll be teaching, I cannot every now and then. When the problems come there, I will give you work. At that time, I will be seeing your chat box. When I will be teaching, you teach them, note down them, learn them. Don't worry about the chats. I will ask you to use the chat box when I give you questions. Once I teach you formula rating, I will give some 10 formulae and give some 1 or 2 minutes to you in the live stream only. Test also, written test also, I will take in the live stream only. 20 minutes, 20 marks question, 40 minutes, right? Then 10 minutes you will evaluate it, self-evaluate it. You have to upload the results there. Written test, quiz test will be taken in the app. You download the Vedyam's app. There I will be uploading the quiz test topic wise. More than 100 plus questions are there in the whole chapter, and they will revise you. They will give you good training. What is your understanding level? Immediately the app will give the report. Therefore, first job is, before I start the next Sunday, mostly by next week, within 3-4 days, right? I will upload it. I will send them. I have to upload a small 15 minutes revision content. Then I will go on giving you the upload the quiz questions. Courses are yet to be created. Next week it will be done. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow, my dear students. Again, I will send you my I will create the live classes time and topic and send you in your WhatsApp group, and share the links with your friends, new friends. Ask particularly Kannada medium students, those who go to PUCI 1, generally they will have fear because they don't have they don't have English access. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅವ್ರು ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತಾರ. ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಗಾಬರಿ ಆಗೋದು. ನಮಗೂ ಅದ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂತವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂನವರು PUC ಸೈನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಗಾಬರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರಂದ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಒಳಗ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಂದು ಇದನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ರಿ, ನಾನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವಂಗ PUC ಕಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎ ದೇಸಿ ಟೀಚರ್, ದೇಸಿ ಸ್ವದೇಶಿ, right? Kannada, we are in Karnataka. I love my mother tongue, and but I have respect about English because most of the literatures are in English only. I have no objection about it, but first place I must give to my mother tongue, because in mother tongue whatever you learn, you can understand it faster than other languages, right? English people cannot understand in our language. It will be difficult. How can you understand the English language in easily? Therefore, it is foreign language. Even in CBSE also it is considered as a foreign language, not Indian language. Okay. Therefore, respect mother tongue like your mother. Okay. That's all, my dear students. Right. Good night. Sleep well. Study well. Right. You finish before 8:30. Particularly state CBSE ICSE students, your homework you complete it, and I will come here to boost your confidence. I want to help you on your study table, improve your homework quality and exam answer writing quality. I am your supporter and you are your family member. Okay, bye bye, see you. Study well, go to school regularly, right? Have good relation with your teachers, right? And do exercise early morning. Don't forget, at least half an hour you go for a brisk walk or do some exercise. Do meditation, yoga, keep your body and mind fit, and eat food properly at a proper time. Maintain your health. To achieve anything, health is required. All the best, my dear students. Meet you tomorrow with the language of mathematics, trigonometry. Bye bye. See you.